What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Ty, and you're watching Beauty High Tide. So today I want to talk about loving yourself and what that actually is, because I feel like a lot of us don't really know what that means. So I'm here to explain it from my journey in life and what I really think that it is. So yeah. First, what is loving yourself? Like, what does that really mean? Like, we really don't know what that means, right? Well, a lot of people really don't know what that means. So with me, I found out what self-love was when I went through a very bad breakup recently. I was pregnant and I was forced to be alone. I used to always ask myself, like, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I alone? And I realized because in that relationship I lost myself, because I didn't really know myself, if that makes sense. I was in this place where I was trying to be something I wasn't, because I just wanted to be loved, you know. And because I wanted to be loved, I was willing to, you know, be unhappy for this person. And because of that, it took me farther and farther down to the point where I got depressed. And a lot of things that I was doing before, I stopped doing. I was getting really lazy, I was getting sleepy, I was getting, you know, annoyed, I was getting everything that you could possibly think of that depression is. I was that, because I wasn't being who I was, because I was trying to make this person happy, to the point that I became unhappy and it showed. And then I made that person unhappy, and then the relationship completely did not work anymore. And that's when we decided that we shouldn't be together. You know, I didn't decide that, because I still wanted it, because I didn't love myself enough to be alone. So when I finally had to be alone, I started writing to myself. And I was asking myself, why is this happening to me? So I was forced to, you know, sit in it and just think. Because I didn't have friends. I didn't have anything. I was pregnant, you know. I was pregnant and I didn't have anything to do. So I turned to YouTube and I started watching a lot of videos that showed me how to love myself. First thing I did was I started writing to myself. That was a big thing for me, because, you know, at that time I was very sad, because once again I was pregnant and alone, and it was just hard. It was hard. So I had to write to myself, because that was the first thing that they said do. So that's what I did. I don't know if I'm clear. Oh my goodness, hold on. So that's what I did. Then the next thing I did was because I was pregnant, I started taking my own self on dates. And that was the next step for my self-love journey. I started to go, you know, to dinner by myself. I started to go to the movies by myself. I just started doing a lot of things that I normally wouldn't do by myself, because all I had was myself, you know. I wasn't in a relationship, I was pregnant, you know. I didn't want to, you know, deal with anyone while I was pregnant, because that was weird to me. So I decided to just be alone. And then I knew that it was for a reason, so I just, you know, said, okay, I'll just go through it. Another thing I started doing was I started to write letters to myself. Like, I started writing letters as if I loved me. You know, don't you know how you write to someone else that you like love? You write like a love letter, or you send like a long nice text to this person telling them how much you appreciate them. So that's what I began to do. I've started to write to myself. And it's so, this is the best thing you could ever do, because when you're going through a hard time and you write to yourself, you can actually look back on that weeks and months later and realize how much you've grown, because sometimes you don't realize how much you've grown until you look back and see and how you was thinking then compared to now. So it's always good to write to yourself. Another thing I did was I started to say no. It was a lot of things that people wanted me to do that I just decided to say no to. Like, I started to love me, so I did what I felt like was best for me, not for anyone else. That's another thing that you have to do in order to love yourself. You have to be okay with saying no. If you don't want to do something, then just don't do it. Like, that's all it takes. That's it. It's nothing else to it. And I knew when I was free, when I no longer needed someone to tell me that they loved me. I knew I was free when I could go and do things by myself without needing somebody else. I started doing a lot of things. I started to do stuff that I didn't used to do because I lost it, because I wasn't loving me. I was so busy being surrounded around my friends and things like that I didn't really get to know me anymore. I lost everything that I used to do as a kid, that I used to love, that I completely stopped because I got distracted by friends and relationships and things, having kids. So one thing I did do, I went back skating. This is something I used to always do as a kid. I used to skate, I used to dance, and now I'm getting back to that place of doing those things. Like, that was like a long time ago, but I got a little rusty with both of them. But I skate all the time now, and like now I'm getting better than I was before, and it's amazing. And I love the fact that I don't need anyone anymore. I don't need to be with a friend. I don't need any of that. I can go to the park by myself and just sit in the grass. That's something I would have never done as a kid, like never. But I'm happy that I went through what I did, and whatever it is that you're going through and that made you click on this video, I just want to say that everything happens for a reason, and it doesn't matter what happens now, because later you'll be happy that this happened today or whenever it happened to you, because tomorrow you're going to be a new person. Before this happened to me, I was a different person, but now I'm a better person. I do things that I would not have done years ago. A lot of things that I would not have done years ago, I'm doing today because of what happened to me months prior to now. But thank you for watching my video. If you like this, please subscribe, share if somebody else needs to hear this, because everyone needs to hear this. But thank you. Bye.